we feeling? How we feeling? Welcome back to The Collective. Today we're going to be reviewing a new series, a Disney Plus original from the Star Wars universe, The Acolyte. So for this review, we're going to be doing the first two episodes since they released together, and then we'll be dropping individual reviews for each episode as they come out weekly. The Acolyte stars Lee Jung-jae, who got his fame from Squid Games, Amanda Stenberg, who you guys might recognize as Rue from The Hunger Games, and Daphne Keane, who was X-23 in Logan.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
So The Acolyte takes place 100 years before The Phantom Menace. Our story begins following Master Soul, who is played by Lee Jung-jae, who is trying to clear the name of his former Padawan, who is accused of the murder of his best friend, Jedi Master Endara. Some of the pros I got from the first episode of The Acolyte is how it starts with the action. The fighting choreography is really smooth, and the visuals stand up to any other Star Wars project that was produced by Disney+. I really enjoyed the acting and the dialogue between the characters, not to mention that Lee Jung-jae had to learn English for this role, and it seems that he took it very seriously. Some of the cons I had with episode 1 was that not all performances were up to par. Some of the storytelling was too situational, and we had a reveal that was withheld from the story that should have been established in the very beginning. Not too many things to criticize in the first episode, but just some things that took me out of it. For the first episode of The Acolyte, we're going to rate it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the fluid choreography and how the dialogue progresses the story in a really thrilling way. Master Soul and Amanda Stenberg, who plays the twins Osha and May, really stand out with their heartfelt performances. If that story point I mentioned from earlier was maybe revealed, and we got a better performance from the side characters, I would have no problem giving this a 4.5. I know you guys have seen the Rotten Tomatoes score and probably those reviews on X, but I really believe The Acolyte can be a really good show, and I think the first episode proves it. So before we get into the episode 2 review, I do want to give my thoughts and some predictions on the show as a whole. And overall, I am super excited for this show. The first 2 episodes made a great impression on me, and I'm super excited to see the character development. I also really want to see the reveal of who the Sith is going to be, because some people think that it might be Plagueis, who was the master of Sidious before he became master. So that'll be real exciting to see. On to episode 2.
Are you ready?
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan.
Before we get started in episode 2, I'll just give you a little run through of what happened in episode 1. We got the introduction of the main characters, Master Soul, Osha, May, and we got to meet a couple of the Jedis. I remember Yord was the name of one of them. And we're pretty much looking for the person that's murdering the Jedis right now. There's a person that's working for the Sith going around killing Jedis, and it looks like they have a personal vendetta against them. And that's pretty much what the first episode was trying to figure out. Laying the foundation of all the characters involved and pretty much showing how everyone will have a part in the story. So in episode 2, we start following the life of May, who we find out is actually the twin sister of Osha, who is working for the Sith and is the one that's taking out the Jedis. The mysterious Sith leader we meet calls her the Acolyte.
But an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
We see May go to a lot of different locations, including one that has a mysterious friend that's really good with weapons and was able to get some poison from her home planet in order to help her kill one of the Jedi she was looking for, since the first attempt didn't work due to the Force. We do eventually have May come face to face with Master Soul, who she recognizes, and her twin sister Osha, who she hasn't seen in a while due to a fire that happened 15 years ago that they both thought killed each other, which I know they'll dive deeper on later in the series. Some pros that I had for this episode is I gotta give it to the choreography again. The fighting is really good. It's just because we're not used to Jedis doing hand-to-hand combat. We're so used to the saber battles. But the hand-to-hand combat is so smooth, and it goes perfectly with using their force as defense instead of the lightsabers unless they really have to. And I gotta give it to the visuals again. The different planets that we're seeing and the scenes that were shown that don't have too much CGI involved. It's really nice to see all these different takes on planets that we've been waiting to see and some that we are coming back to again. Another pro I would say is the story really has me intrigued. The mystery going on of knowing who is doing the murders but not knowing who is the one ordering it kind of makes you want to keep watching just so you can find out who is the one that's really behind all of this. And they also hint at the Jedi kind of covering up a story that happened with those twin sisters, which is causing May to come back and find the ones, which actually has something to do with her and her sister splitting up. Some cons I had with episode 2 was that it did feel kind of rushed. We had a scene I talked about earlier when May went to go kill one of the Jedi and wasn't successful. So then she goes to get some poison from one of her friends and was able to go back to the place and get the Jedi to drink the poison. Due to something that he was guilty about, as he says the word,
Forgive me. We thought we were doing the right thing.
I feel like they could have stretched that out a little bit more, especially when they brought Osha in at the time of the Jedi dying to make it seem like she was the one responsible. But I did like that angle, how they're trying to pull the old parent trap with the two twin sisters. Like the first episode, there wasn't too much to dislike or criticize about it, so I'm going to give it 4 stars for sure. The story is keeping me intrigued, and the fighting choreography is keeping my eyes glued to the screen. The dialogue is really good in between characters, and there's never a part where I feel like I want to turn it off or it seems too boring. I like that Master Soul is the lead Jedi and trying to help his Padawan prove her innocence. But I do think him and the other Jedi are hiding something when it comes to the twin sisters. Something happened with them 15 years ago that they covered up, and I'm really excited to see why May is holding these grudges over them. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning into the channel and checking out this episode 2 review. We should have episode 3 coming up soon, and with House of Dragon coming out today, we'll have a review for that also. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good one.